Science is about asking new questions, knowing something which was not known before. My name is Radha Boya. I am a professor of nanoscience in University of Manchester. We study how water, ions and small molecules flow through very small capillaries. These are only few atoms thin, 1,000 to 10,000 times smaller than a human hair. It is important to study these small scale flows as they are behind many critical processes in everyday life. For example, in kidneys, in cellular membranes, processes involving water desalination, we assemble these in a layer by layer fashion to build the tiny gaps through which the molecules can flow, and we can look at whether a particular molecule goes through or it is rejected out. Understanding the fundamental principles of separation and selectivity, we can aim for better design of next generation membranes and energy efficient computing. With the discovery of ionic memory, we can do computation using simple salt and ions. The natural brain can consume much smaller fraction of energy compared to the modern world computing. In computing, we use electrons as information carriers to process information to create memory, unlike the natural way the brain works. So in the brain, the synaptic junctions, there is exchange of chemicals and flow of ions through small channels which trigger creation of memories. So we are now mimicking how the neurons work and how they create memories in an artificial way. I was very pleased to hear the news that I'm selected as a finalist for Blavatnik Awards UK. This recognition sheds light on our discoveries and encourages us to ask more fundamental questions, as simple as how water would behave when confined to a narrow space. I like to spend time with my team discussing their results, their experiments, troubleshooting any problems that they face during the experiments, not just the final successful results, but also how we shape the approach towards solving a problem. So ideas never stop, so thinking never stops.